Welcome to London, a city where climbing to new heights is on a dome, not a tower, where noses double as protest art, and where kayaking beats sightseeing from a boat. Stick around because this isn't your textbook tour. It's London with a twist. We are in Covent Garden. Way back when, it was Convent Garden because the Benedictine monks operating out of Westminster Abbey had a vegetable patch here, so Convent Garden. In 1536, King Henry VIII decided he didn't want the English monasteries anymore because he didn't want the Catholics, so he took back the land that was owned by the church and gave it to his buddies. It's a square, one of the first squares, in fact, and just so you know, squares are really prominent here in London, like canals in Venice. And the cute part about Covent Garden is not necessarily Covent Garden itself, but go to the side streets. And there's some really cute alleyways and courtyards. Check this one out. This one's called Neal's Yard. No particular historic significance that I'm aware of, but super cute. And here, this is Booksellers Row, also known as Cecil Court. It's got some, old bookstores? They still exist? Well, here in London, they do. When I come to a new place, I love to get a higher vantage point. And why not kill two birds with one stone? Higher vantage point and some exercise. O2 is an entertainment venue, but we're here for a different reason.
Representing the days of the year. And the summit is 52 meters high, representing the weeks of the year. So what can you expect from the climb? The incline's steady. Some points hit 30 degrees, so it's just enough angle to get a real sense of achievement at the top.
Are you going to show me how to do this?
You got to do that.
Okay. And now for the view we did all this climbing for. At the end of the trek, you get the chance to get some cool shots using a green screen. You can see a wide shot of what O2 looks like from above, but don't wear the same color as my sister did. Otherwise, this is what your photos will look like. Whoops.
I don't think so, you guys. That's the easiest 450 calories if it is.
We're going kayaking down the Thames. I love checking out views. I could have just done a boat, sure, but I wanted to check it out closer to the water. No, I'm not going to die. At least I hope not.
And it's Mary on the World. Today it is Battersea to Greenwich via London, England.
Actually, don't put that in. Hey, Jesus.
It's called the Albert Bridge. Beautiful. It's nowhere near as cold as I thought it would be. I didn't want to get in to touch it. It's not that bad. Now we're approaching the famous Westminster Bridge. Oh, and the green color of the bridge is paying homage to the leather seats in the nearby Parliament building.
Passing the Battle Bridge board.
Oh, and there's the London Eye. We won't check that place out this trip, but I went about 20 years ago. Oh my goodness, it's 20 years. Before it became the mega tourist spot it is today. It does give you great views of the city, and it makes a great date night with champagne and all. You keep paddling. Okay. Oh, look, another bridge. It's no surprise that we see so many. There are a whopping 29 of them in London crossing the Thames. Once upon a time, it was just the one London Bridge. And there was a ferries that would go crossing the Thames so people can get over it because they just couldn't do it over the bridge. Tower Bridge, which I think most people probably call London Bridge. So much better than a view from a boat. And we're burning a few calories on top of it. And because we're doing the kayaking, we get a real sense of the tidal issues that boat captains, the people on water have to contend with. We're doing 11 miles of the 134-mile length of the Thames. Just finished. About 3 hours. Oof. But we get this great sunset at the end. Not exactly like Venice, but there are canals here in London. And what better way to see them than a nice boat ride? We're going through the lock. I don't think I've ever done this. A lot of the canals here in London started in the 18th century. This one's called Regents Canal. It's how they transported goods way back when. You're rising. Oh, we're moving. We see various sites along the way, like this old gin warehouse.
The original Gilby's warehouse. When eventually the trade and they have access to squash.
How big a deal are canals here in London? Seeing different numbers on what the length of those canals are. Could be as much as 2,000 miles of canals in all of the United Kingdom. They're all man-made and they connect rivers.
We enter into the area around Little Venice.
This is one of my favorite parts of London, partly because it doesn't look like any other part of London. It's just so peaceful, you know? I'm from New York. I love hustle and bustle, but sometimes this is just wonderful. Isn't Little Venice adorable? Oh my goodness. No wonder it's been the inspiration for a poet like Browning, Shelley. Every city has its quirks, and Londoners have a reputation of letting their voices heard. What I wanted to do was show you the noses of Soho. This one artist in 1997 decided to protest the operating of CCTV units all across the city. He installed plaster versions of noses all over the city, 35 of them, in fact, right under the nose of CCTV. Started looking, and there I found it. The nose, right under us. Just a cute little fun activity. Gets you out and about in a neighborhood I probably wouldn't have seen otherwise. I don't usually tell you about monuments to check out, but this one you might want to. It's a monument to the Great Fire of 1666. It was so important here that within 5 or 10 years, they built this monument. It's 202 feet tall, and it memorializes the event here in 1666, where a fire in a bakery spread throughout the city. It destroyed tens of thousands of homes, dozens of churches, not too many as far as lives lost, but it left a lot of people homeless. The government was forced to make major changes in fire codes. If you time it right, you can actually climb to the top and probably get an incredible view of the city. Normally, you know, that's the kind of thing I do, but time. Don't have it. One of the things you can do here in London is go on a Roman ruins walk. London used to be Londinium when the Romans were here about 2 millennia ago. London remained a walled city for about 1,500 years after the Romans left. Around 400 AD is the famous Tower of London. It's about 1,000 years old, and it's withstood the world wars. It survived the Great Fire of 1666. Let's see what other stories it has to tell.
Welcome to my home, everybody. This must rank as probably one of the most famous prison complexes in the world. Give me new. Do you like History America? Yeah. So like our country's History America.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Could have been yours if you'd paid your taxes.
If you come inside the Tower of London property, you'll see these reenactments. This is supposed to be a giant.
Ireland, panic! Don't actually panic. Panic!
They're going inside the White Tower. This is the origins of the Tower of London. This is an early fireplace, very big-time Norman invention. For 900 years, the Tower of London was used to store armory. You can see quite an extensive array of weaponry here. They've done a great job of preserving the past. We can walk on top of the 1,000-year-old foundation. Visit to the Tower of London is, well, it could be a little time-consuming. It's huge. I did want to come here because it is historic. It was built by William the Conqueror, the Norman, in 1066. It started off as a residential palace, and very quickly it became an infamous prison. Inside that building is the monarch's crown jewels. It's basically worn during coronations, and various British monarchs wear it for events. Inside is also the star attraction, probably, is the Star of Africa. It's the second largest uncut diamond in the world. Runs about 530 carats. I got mine right here. Not quite 530 carats, but I like mine better.
Enjoy what the tower has to offer. Have a wonderful time, and thank you very much.
London is resilient. That's just the best way to describe it. And one of the buildings you should check out is St. Paul's Cathedral. It's been here, or some version of it's been here for 1,400 years. In fact, this is the fourth version of the cathedral. It survived the Great Fire of 1666. It's survived World Wars I and II. It survived the Viking invasion. Check it out from the outside. It's stunning. The inside's even better. I'm not a big museum goer, but this one is now a favorite of mine. It's called the Imperial War Museum, and in it, one floor is dedicated to World War I, another one to World War II. This is a really cool museum to go to, especially on a rainy day, and it's free. The exhibit tried to kind of recreate what it was like to be in a trench. It's pretty much impossible. Imagine being surrounded by rats and men that hadn't taken a shower in as many as 55 days. The museum also presents the behind-the-scenes stories about war, what it's like for the people in the home front. As Britain recruited men from throughout its empire, the people who didn't sign up, who were left behind, were subject to increased taxes to help pay for the war. Clocks were put forward to make the most of daylight hours during the workday. Censorship of letters, because they were looking for enemy aliens, mainly Germans. So pretty much everybody was impacted by the war. And what better way to end this London vlog than a gorgeous view and a great public garden atop the Walkie Talkie building. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Mary Goes Round the World. You have a couple of choices. You can go and check out a tour, or if your money's a little short, do Evensong. It's basically a worship. It includes songs. It's about an hour long. It happens every day, different times, depending upon the day. So check that out.